I do feel as though I'm currently happy. Recently, I purchased a new car. This has been a really interesting and monumental event for me because it was my first big purchase. It has caused me both happiness and unhappiness at once because I finally get to experience the wonderful feeling of owning something brand new and classy, but I'm also in a more financially stressful position than I've ever been. I also feel as though I'm currently moving towards greater happiness, as happiness in my eyes is more of a sliding scale than an on off switch. In the near future, I'm going to be going back to school, which excites me greatly as someone that loves to learn, and I will have to cut back on work hours, which I suspect will leave me with more free time for hobbies that I love, especially creative hobbies such as music or video production. I will have to continue balancing my finances over this period, though, which may continue to be a stressor as I transition into a period of reduced income, especially because I'll still be juggling my car finance at the same time.
I think there's always like this little river of happiness in me. It never goes completely away. It's always there. And it's especially there when I really can immerse myself in it. To me, there's so much about happiness that has to do with being in a state of awe and wonder. There is always something new, something beautiful, something surprising or delightful, no matter how small. And sometimes the smallest things are the most delightful. I do feel that this stage of my life is particularly challenging. I always derived and shared a great deal of happiness and joy with my family, my 3 children as they were growing up, my birth family, both my parents who are still alive, my sister and my brother, and my 2 grandchildren. In the past 10 years, most of them either already live or have moved out of state, and so I don't have that day-to-day contact with very many of them anymore. That always meant so much to me. When I was a little bit younger, I was able to travel back and forth and travel around and visit everyone pretty regularly, and I think sometimes it was like looking forward to the next beat on the string. I also had a really fulfilling career, and now I'm retired. So I'm sort of still in a state of transition as far as sharing happiness with others. I have to find new ways to really do that. And sometimes, that feels a little more challenging because I have to stretch myself a little bit more and be less self-conscious. And I don't know, it's just different. So yeah, I would say I'm currently happy. I'm really happy that I get to see my grandson all the time and have this real special time with him while he's here with me. That's just so wonderful. I'm just always looking for what there is to celebrate and just be thankful for in every moment, whether it's, sometimes I look outside and, oh, there's a pair of trumpeter swans, or sometimes it might be the memory of a song, or something is just humorous to me and I just laugh. But I think being in a state of receptivity to that, where it's always kind of bubbling within us anyway, and then can just kind of spring up sometimes. I try and focus on that as my natural state instead of something elusive that I have to run after or that is very conditional. And so that is how my happiness looks and how I experience it today.
Life is ever changing, and our wants and needs are a part of life too. What I want, what I desire, and what interests me could also fluctuate greatly within a period of just a few months, as my circumstances change and new topics become more engaging to me. Furthermore, my goals might change too. Considering I pointed to goal accomplishment as a major source of happiness, this means that what I need to be happy will change as well. Right now, I'm interested in learning more about the human body. I feel as though anatomy and physiology is a big topic for me at this time, and I'm really excited to get back into school with a focus on nursing so that I can really see the nitty-gritty clinical side of things that I didn't get deeply into during my public health education. I'm also finding things that used to interest me in the past, such as guitar and severe weather, suddenly much more engaging again. Recently, I also suddenly became more interested in cars for some reason. It could have to do with buying a new car, but I've actually enjoyed certain car-related topics for a long time, such as how the parts under the hood all work together. The thing is, though, all of these passions could suddenly fade in the face of some other interesting subject. What I need to be happy is ever-changing. However, there are some things that can really provide long-term sources of happiness. For example, long-term healthy relationships can improve our self-worth while also serving as a form of continuous goal accomplishment and could serve to form future goals that it can then help accomplish as well. What do you need to be happy?
I think what I need most in order to be happy is to show up in life in the present moment and be engaged and awake and aware. I'm not currently in a place in my life where I'm setting a lot of long-term goals. I think I'm real aware, unlike how I used to be, that I won't always be here on this planet. And so what I most need to do to be happy is just to be present and engaged right where I am. And as I grow older, I do end up spending more time alone than when I was working and raising a family and traveling and everything. So in a way, it's a bit more challenging, but it also challenges me to notice all the little things around me and in life, all those subtle nuances. It's not so much about bringing things to me, but it's more about learning how to be and how to be present and turn off the inner dialogue and the sound. Sometimes it's like trains running through my head, but to learn to slow down and practice turning off all that inner dialogue. Some of it's so made up. Sometimes I find myself thinking about what I would say to someone, but that's not what's happening in the here and now. That person is not even here right now. So what's the point of that? For me, it's more about learning to really be in the present moment. It sounds like a cliche, but I'm finding there's a lot of truth in that. What I most need in order to be happy is to show up.